Hi everyone, my name is Andy Robertshaw. Today I've been asked to go through Daily Killer Su Doku puzzle number 30417. That's 30417. I'm looking at this. It's not familiar to me, I'll say. I might have solved it in the past, but I haven't solved it any time recently. So I'll start as ever by looking at cages with not many options. So my 4 cage there must be 1 and 3. Since I got 1 and 3 in this box, the 8 cage must be 2 and 6. It can't be 3, 5 or 1, 7. A 15 cage there is 6, 9 or 7, 8. A 17 cage there is 8, 9. So the 11 cage then is either 4, 7 or 5, 6. It's not 9, 2 or 8, 3. A 5 cage there is 1, 4 or 2, 3. I've got an 8 cage here. I'm doing well with this box, so I'll put the options in. So 1, 7, 3, 5 or 2, 6. Conscious of what might go there, it's equal to that box as well, that cage as well, sorry. So 11 plus 17 plus 8 is 36. I can only have a maximum of 9 in the whole of this box, this row, sorry, including that cell there. So only a maximum of 8 here. So that's interesting. I've got a 9 cage there and another cage with a maximum of 8 to go in it. I've got some low numbers in this area. We'll have a look at those shortly. The 15 is 6, 9 or 7, 8. So maximum of 8. It's going to be a minimum of 6 because I've got 9 and whatever goes here. In fact, it can't be 6. If I got as low as 6 there, it means I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 between those. I've got no number to go in here. Could I have a 7 there, I wonder? So I now know this is 7 or 8. Okay, well this is 1 or 2, depending on whether that's 7 or 8. So 8 with 1 there or 7 with 2 there. So if that's 7, I'd have to have 1 and 6 because I'd have a total of 16 between those. If I had, so I've got to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 between those. In fact, I can't have a total of 16. I can't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 because again, I'm without a possible value for this one. I've used 1, 2, 3, 4 already. So in fact, I do know this is exactly 8. So 1, 7, 3, 5 or 2, 6. So this is 8 here. So I've got 8 and 17 and 11. That's 36. And 8 there for 44. So that one's a 1. So that one isn't 1, 7. And that's interesting now. I've got 5, 6 there. I can't have 5 and 6 in this 11 case. It will take up both options. So that's 4, 7. So this 15 cage is 6 and 9. So not 6 or 7 there. But I know this is an 8. So 3, 5, 6, 7. Not 1 or 2. So that's 2, 3, 5, 6. But not 6 there. Not 2 there. Because I've got 6 as one of those two. Right, so I'll fill in the 9 cage. 1, 2, 6, 1, 3, 5 or 2, 3, 4. Right, so must have an 8 as one of those two. Could I have a 6 there, or is that too many small numbers gone? If I got 6 there, I can't have a 6 there. I could have 1, 3, 5 or 2, 3, 4. I could have a 7 there. Or could I? 6. Well, let's work it through. So 6 there. If I've got 2, 3, 4, I've got 1. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've not got a small number to go in the 8 cage. If I've got 6, 1, 3, 5, I'd have to have a 2 there and a 6 to go with it. So that's not possible. So I've got 9 there and 6 there. Right. So this 9 is 2, 7 or 4, 5 because of that. I can't have 1 or 3 in it. This 9 is 1, 3, 5 or 2, 3, 4. It's not 1, 3, 6 because I've got a 6 there. In fact, I've got a 1 in this column, so not 1 there, not 4 there, not 1 there. Right. So, in fact, I've got 17 between those 5 cells. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4. If I must have 1, 2, 3 among those, mustn't I? To have my 17. My next lowest is 1, 2, 4, which is 7. Then I have to have 5 and 6 on top of those. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 is 18. So I must have 1, 2, 3 in all those. So not 2 or 3 there. So that one's a 4. That's a 1. So let's do away with some 4s. So no 4 there, no 5 there. No 4 in this one. So it could still be 1, 2, 6 or 1, 3, 5. In fact, no 1 in this one. So between them, I've got 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 there. I've got 7 and 8 between those two. So not 7 there, not 2 there. So I also couldn't have 3, 5 there because it would only leave me the 2 between those two cells. So not 3, 5. So they're 2, 6, they're 3, 5. So 2, 6, no 2 there. So that's 5 and 4. And that's not 2 or 5, that's 3. That's not 3 or 5. So they're 2 and 4 between them to make up that 9. So no 2 there. I've got 1, 3, 5, 6, 2, 4. I've got to have a 7 in this top one then. So no 7 there, no 8 there. Let's look at this box on the top left. So 1, 8 and 9. In fact, I've got to have a 9 there because I've got the rest of the numbers in this column. So 1 and 8 between these two, but I've got a 1 here. So 8 and 1 like that. So no 8 there, no 7 there. So this 15 kg is 6 and 9. So in fact, these 3 between them are 2, 6 and 9, but I've got 6 and 9 here. So this must be a 2, so that's 6 and 2, and this one's 9 and 6. So not a 2 there, that's 4, that's 2. Right, so this is less than or equal to 15. I've used 1, 2, 3, 4 in this row. So 5 and 7 is the lowest I could have. That'd take me up to 14. So it's 5, 7 or 5, 8 there. So I've got to have a 5 there. So 7 or 8 here and 7 or 8 here to be joined by 9. And on this bottom row, I've got the other one of 7 and 8 to be joined by 4 and 5. But I can't have an 8 here in the 10 cage because I would only have 2 to go with it. But I must have at least 1 and 2 there. So the most I could have is 7 there. So here we got 7 or 8 and 1 and 3, but not 1 there because I've got 1 in this column. Not 7 there because I needed 2 to go with it. So that's 1, 8 or 6 to make up this 9 cage. Can't have an 8 there because it's got to be less than 9. I need at least 1 there to go with the 8. So that's not an 8. Okay, so what could I have here then? If I've got 7 or 8 there, so I've got 7, 8, 9 for 24 between those. That's a 2. If I've got 3 there, then that is 12. I need 14 between those two, which have to be 8 and 6. So that one is 2 or 6. What could I have here? Total of 12. 13, I've got 1 there. So 5, 7 I could have. Then I'd have 8 and 3. That's okay. I can't have 4 and 8 there because I've got a 4 on the top. So my other option is 3 and 9. 3, 9, then not a 3 there. That would be 7 or 8. That would be 2. Okay, that's fine. Right. What about these now? So 7 with 1, 2. 5 with 1, 4 either way round. Or I could have 3 and 2. And 4 with 1 and 5 either way round. So there we go. Right. So this one at least 11. This one at least 11. Okay, so what's... In fact, deadly patterns. I can't have 3 and 5 in this 8 cage. I've got 3 and 5 here. If I've got 3 and 5 here as well, I could have 3, 3, 5, 5, or 5, 3, 3, 5. I could swap round the orders. So that's a deadly pattern. I can't have 3 and 5 there. That's 2 and 6. So let's do away with 2 and 6 from this one. That 9 cage is 1, 3, 5. In fact, another deadly pattern. I can't have 3 and 5 there. I must have 3 and 5 in opposite columns of this 9 cage. But I can't have them both on the same row because it would form a deadly pattern with this 3, 5. So I need a 1 there and 3 and 5 between those two. Okay, so not 3 or 5 here then, and not the 7 or 9 there. So 3, 9 or 5, 7 between those two. Okay, so what's next? So maximum of 7 here. So no number greater than 6, but not 1 or 4 there. I can't have a 6 there now because I need at least a 2 there. And I can't have a 2 there because I've got one in the column already. Okay, so 5, 7. I'm going to fill in this row. I've got 4 numbers in it already. So 3, 5, 7, 8, 9 between those. But not a 9 there. So what could I have? Looking at the middle, is there anything I can see? So 7 would be with 1 and 2. 5 would be with 1, 4 or 2, 3. 4 with 1 and 5. So these two at least 11. These 3 at least 11. Right. Let's fill in this row. I've got 1, 3, 5 there. So not 1, 3 or 5 here. And we'll eliminate what we can. So not a 2 there, not 6 or 9 there, not 2 or 6 there. So 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, but not with 6 or 9 there. Okay, I've got 22 there. Seven there. Maximum 7 there, I should say. So maximum 19 between all those. In fact, if I've got 5 and 7 there, the only place left for a 9 is that one. If I've got 3 and 9 there, what happens? 7 or 8 there, it starts to look complicated quickly because I could have 5, 7 or 8 there. Okay. So at least 11, no 1s there, so must be greater than 1, but no 9 there. So no 2 there, because I've got maximum of 8 there now. So in fact, my 1 must be, the only place I could have a 1 in this box is inside that 10 cage. So 7, 1, 2, 5, 1, 4, or 4, 1, 5. So I can't have a 3 there. I can't have a 1 there, can I? If I've got a 1 there, I can't have a 1 there, or the 8 there. So 6 or 8 there. I can't have 6 and 8 there. If I've got 3 there, I need 6 and 8 there. So 3 plus 9 is 12. I need 14 to make that up to 26. I can't have 6 and 8 there because it would take both options for that. So I can't have the 3 there. So I've got 7 and 8 between those two. So that must be a 2. So no 2s there. I can't have 1 and 2 there, so I can't have 7 there. So this 10 cage is 1, 4, 5. Can't have a 5 there because it's touching all 3 of those cells, one of which must be a 5. So 2, 1, 4, 5. 5, 7, 8 triple there, so that one's not a 7, it's 1 or 3. My total here is less than 9, so maximum 7. I'll put them in. Not 1, not 2. I could have 3. So I've got 1 there, got 2 there. So could have 3. Could have 4 or 5. Not 6. Could have 7, but not 8 because I've got a maximum of 9. So in fact, there aren't that many options for this one. So that's good. Anything else? Not a 2 there now. So not a 5. This is less than 8. I can't have a 5 there and keep that less than the 8. So any more news on what I could have here? 3, 9, 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. If I got 3 and 9, I could have 5, 6, 7, 8 there. Let's put them all in. If I got 7, 5, it's the only place in the column for a 9. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, quite a few options, I know. But let's see. Let's see what else. So 4, 5. I'm a bit limited for options here. Again, I can't have 1, 4 and 5 because this cell touches all 3 of those. I can't have 2, 6 either. So not 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. So 3, 7, 8 or 9 is all I've got left to go in there. In fact, I filled all these and I don't have anywhere I could put a 2. So my 2 must go in this one, not a 2 there. I suppose I could have a 2 in the 22 cage. My 2 must be one of these in this column. So what else? What do I see? 3, 5. So looking up 6, a few places I could put the 6 in this column. So let's see then. Only 2 places I could put a 6 in this row. So if I have an 8 there, that one must be a 6. If I've got 6 there, 3, 1. Again, I think I've got lots of options there. Right, so what can I do next? Three, 5. Right. So 1 and 3 there. In fact, my 3 in this column must be one of those two. Can't have a 3 anywhere else. 3 must be one of those two, so this one isn't a 3. So 3, 9, either 3, 9 there, or I've got a 3 there. If I've got 3 there, I could have 1 or 4 there. If I've got 3 there, I've got 5 or 6 there, so I need a 1 there. I need a 3 there. And a 1 there. Right, okay, well it's all quite possible. There's still something going on with this inequality I don't quite understand. And there's this inequality as well. This transitive inequality. I will hopefully come up with something quite soon on that. So 7, 8 there. Well, let's do a bit of adding up. So I've got 22 there. I should know what I've got. I've got 4 or 5 there. If I just think of having everything else here in the box. So if we add these up, I've got 12 or 13. 2, 4, 6 or 2, 5, 6, 12 or 13. So here I've got 32 or 33. And 22. So that's 54 or 55. This is at least 11. So let's take minimum. So minimum 54 from these. Minimum 65 there. Minimum... So that'd be 11 more... Sorry, so minimum... If I take a max there, that's 13, 32, 54, and 11 is 55, and another 11 is 66, and 2 is 68. So I could still have 22, maximum 22, which is 589, so that's not particularly helpful. Okay. Nine and 6 there. All right, I've got plenty of options for the 6 in this column. If I've got 4 or 5 there, I've got 4 or 5 there. No, right, I thought I'd possibly seen something then, but I haven't. 5. Oh, let's fill these in. So not 1 or 2. Not 6 or 9 there. Yeah, lots of options still, but, well, hopefully we'll find something soon. 22 there, so 23 between the rest of those. If I don't have 1 there, I must have a 1 in the 22 cage, which is possible. Or I could have a 2 in the 22 cage. I can't have both a 1 and a 2 in the 22 cage. So if that's not a 2, I've got a 2 in the 22 cage as one of those. So I couldn't have a 1 there. In fact, sorry, I must have a 1 there and a 1 as one of those. If that is a 2, right, well, again, I don't see anything too interesting. Alright, 2, 8, yes. Yeah, so I'm thinking a bit now. Right. So take minimums again. So 11, 11, 10. So that's 32 and 2 there. So the minimum of that lot is 34. So these are a maximum of 11 more than these two, with 34 there. But 2, 5, 8, 9, that's where we are anyway. Yeah, so what else? 3, 4, 7, 2, 6, 8, 9. So yeah, 1, 4, 5, 4. Two options for the number 2 in that row. And I've just been talking about having a number 2 there. Or not having a number 2 there. So if that's a 2, the number 2 is one of those. And I've got to have a total of 20 with that. So the number 1 will have to go in this column here. So 2, 4 and 5 and 1 there. And I still got to honour this inequality as well. Right, 5, 7. Yeah, so still looking around for what I can see. Let's fill this in. So not 6 or 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Yeah, lots of options. So in this 22 cage, I could have 4, 5, 6, 7. So I could get away without having an 8 or a 9 in it. If I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, then I've got 4, 7 there. So my 4 and 7 must be on the top of that one. Also, 8 and 9 there, and 2 there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2, and 1 and 3 between those two. So that make this one 18 or 20, and this one has to be larger than it. So that's 12, that's maximum 7. Right, I sort of don't see why not at this stage. Or I could have an 8. I could, of course, have an 8 or a 9 inside this 22 cage. Right. 3, 1, 3, 6, 5, 1, 4, 7 or 8. Yeah. In fact, this has been there for a while, hasn't it? I should have seen this a while. I can't have 5 or 7 there because it only leaves me the 8 between those two. So this one is indeed 3 and 9. Right, this might be the breakthrough I've been looking for. So let's rule out 3s and 9s elsewhere in the box. Not a 9 there. Not a 9 on the top row of that one either. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 4. In fact, I can't have a 4 there now because I've got 5 or 6 there. So that's a 1. No 1's there. And that's a 3 and a 6. So not a 6 there. That one's a 1. No 3's there. So this could be, that could be 5 or 6. Right. I can't have a 6. I've got 6 there now. I can't have a 6 there. So my 6 in this column must go on the bottom row. So that's a 6. That one isn't. That one isn't. That one isn't. That's 2 and 6 there. So not a 2 there. So 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. I've got a 2 there. So that's 4, 5, 7 or 8. Right, so the 9's one of those two. The 2 must be one of those two. So if I've got 2 there, the most I could have there is 17. The most I could have there is 16, but that's still quite ample, I would think. So let's keep going. Transitive inequality. This is greater than or equal to this, which is greater than this. Yeah, I don't know how helpful that's going to be. I could have 2 here or here. In fact, I might be going around in circles a bit. I could have a 2 in one of those two, 2 in one of those two. Right. Yeah, bit of a loop in 5s, 7s and 8s here as well. If I got 3 here, I'd have to have 8 there. 3, 8, 7, 9. 3 there, 8 there, and a 7, 9 pair there. So I've lost 3, 7, 8, 9. I've only got a 5 between 2 cells, so I can't have a 3 there. In fact, that's the only place for a 6 in this box. Right. So not a 6 there. At least a 5 there to make that up to a minimum of 11. So, does that help? 1, 4, 5. So I must have a 6 as one. In fact, that's the only place. I've got 6 here and here. The only place for a 6 in this box is that one. Right, so 22 and 6 is 28. So those 4 add up to 17. So I can't have 7, 8. Let's run through these options. So 7, 8 would be 15 already. I've got to have at least 3 there, so can't do that. 8 and 4 is 12. I need 5 there, which has to be 2 and 3, but I can't have 2. So I can't have 8 and 4 between these two. 8 and 2, well, that's 10. I need a total of 7, but not 2, 5, not 1, 6. It would have to be 3 and 4. So 8, 2, I could have 4 and 3 like that. Though it does mean this adds up to 18. I could just about have my 19 there, so that's okay. So let's do 7 and 4 there. So 7 and 4 here. So I need a total of 6, which would have to be 1 and 5. But I can't have 1 and 5. So 7, 4 is 11. I need 6 to make it up to 17 without using the 4. If I got 1 and 5 there, I've only got a 4 left between those two. So I can't have 7, 4. Let's try 7, 2. So 7 plus 2 is 9. I therefore need 8 between those to get it up to 17, which would be 3 and 5. So 7, 2, 3, 5. I've got a 3 there, so my 3 would have to go on the bottom. I could do that. So my last option is 4 and 2, which is 6. I need 11 more. Not 2, 9, not 4, 7, not 6, 5. So 3 and 8. So again, I'd have to have 3 on the bottom. I'd have 8 here. Right, so I've got this 3 in place now, which is good. So no 3s there. My 3 must be one of those then. No 3 there. So let's come back. So 22 and 9 is 31. I need 14 between those. So I could have 8, 2, 4 or 7, 2, 5. I couldn't have 4, 5. I need the 2 to keep that down to 14, so that one is a 2. And now that one's a 2. Right, so what do these add up to then? So that's 22 and 11, 33. It's 12, which could be 4, 8 or 5, 7. But I must have a 9 as one of these. So I don't have a 9 there. Right, so bear in mind as well, these 3 are at least 11. So I could have 3, 8. So if I've got a 3 there, in fact, I know I've got a 3 as one of those two, and I need at least, so this one's at least 11, this one is at least this one. So 2, 3, 5 is only 10. I can't have a 5, oh dear, sorry. I can't have a 5 there, so that has to go. My 5 has to therefore be on this. In fact, that alone is good. My 5's got to be on this top row, so no 5 there. No 5 there. That's 3. That's 5. No 5 there. So I've got 7, 8 pair there now. So do away with 7s and 8s. I've got a 9 there, so that's a 7 and a 3. So 7, that's a 4 then. Oh dear, something's gone wrong there. So do away with 7 and 8, and 9, yeah, so it's 4 there, 3 there, right. So no 9 there, so 3, 7, 8 between those 3, so that's not 7, 8, that's 5, that's not 7, 8 or 5, that one's a 9, that's not 3 or 4, then it's 7, so that's 8 and 7 and 8, not 8 there. In fact, I've got 3, 7, 8, so not 7 there either. That's 6 and 5, 1, 4, that one's 5. So no 5 there. Right, so I've got 11 there. I could have 3, 7 or 3, 8 there. Either is fine. I've got 5 there, so not 5 there. So these two add up to 12. I've got 22 and 2, 3, 6. That brings me up to 33. So I've got to have a total of 12 here. I think I took the wrong thing out. I meant to take the 5 out. Those two are 4 and 8. So that's 7. That's 1. So no 7 there. That's 3 and 8. So I can fill this one in now. So 1, 5, 7, 9. Let's put them all in, but not 5 there. Not 1 on the bottom, because I've got 1 there. I've got a 7 as one of those two, so I can do away with 7s elsewhere in that box. I've got 7 in this column, so that can go, and a 5 there. So 4 and 8 between those, so they can go. So what have we got here? 18. 4, 5, 7 won't be enough, so that's an 8. That's a 4, an 8, a 4. Right, so I think we're getting there now with this. So I've got a 3 there, so that one's a 5, that one's a 3. I've got an 8 there, so I want 9 and 8. So no 9s there. 3, 8, 4... I've got an 8 there, so no 8s there. So 7 and 5 and 8. So 7, 9 and 4, 8. I've got a 4 there, so 8 and 4 that way round, and 8, or 3 and 8 that way round, and 3 there. So that's 1 and 3 that way round. No 1 there. I've got a 1 there. So 5 there, so that one's a 7, 9, 5, so 7 and 9, and a 4 there, and a 7 there. And that's it. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. I hope I showed you some techniques there to solve this. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.